Hello and good evening, everybody. Welcome to Anime-Zing Radio here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. I'm your host, Doug Engler. Joining me, the co-host, as always, is our good friend, Mr. Darren Starling.
Hello.
Angela will be joining us in a little bit. She had some stuff going on, told us that she was probably going to be late, so hopefully she'll be joining us in a little while. We hope everybody's been having a wonderful weekend this weekend. I want to thank our sponsors, Home Circle Media, for the latest and greatest in anime gear. Everything from pens, pencil, stationery, and officially licensed art books and pen and paper media. Check out homecirclemedia.com today or look for them at an upcoming convention near you. We're also brought to you tonight by Triple S Lawn Care. If you're in the Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina area and you're looking for lawn care at a great price, be sure to reach out to Triple S Lawn Care, and they will hook you up with the best they can do.
Yep. It's been a rough season. That's all I gotta say.
Weather has not been the friend.
No, because it's feast or famine. We had a period of drought for 6 weeks earlier this summer, followed by a little over a month of rain, then a 2 week drought here recently, and now we are back to rain every single day this week.
Good evening to all of our awesome viewers out there, Ross and John. Thank you so much for tuning in. Tonight, we're going to be looking ahead at the fall 2024 animes. We touched on it a little bit last week about some of the shows that we're looking forward to coming up next season, where the summer season is coming to a close.
Yeah, where's the time gone?
Right out the window. And I just got a message from Angela saying that she'll be on shortly. So, like we said, when she's available, she'll hop on and hang out with us. So, we're excited about having the gang back together. Next week, I will not be here due to the fact that I am scheduled on the same train that I've been on for the last month, which is great because I've had a little bit of steadiness. However, that means that the train does leave next Sunday at like 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and I won't be able to join the show with Darren and Ange. So they will take the reins, take the bull by the horns, and who knows what'll happen.
We'll have another successful show, and Ross's attempts to distract us will fail again because they failed last time.
But again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in. It looks like Ross said in the chat, says, Doug, there is a train simulator game coming to the Switch soon. Interesting. You'll have to try it out, Ross, and let me know how you like it. But we will add Angela to the show here, as I believe she is probably driving at the moment, so we're going to get more audio than anything, I think. Can you hear us, Ange? And Ross says he's not like me, not interested in trains. Well, Angela figures all of that out. We will get ready to look ahead at the fall preview. Like I said, the fall anime list up on my anime list.
But Ross, didn't you watch Plot Wars?
And so we will pull up the page here. And first up on the list, we have ReZero Season 3.
I still need to watch Season 2.
I started Season 2 and dropped it. I think
just out of boredom or no time?
If I'm being 100% honest, it took me quite a bit to get through Season 1. And then Season 2, I started watching, and it didn't really have the hook that I was looking for with the show. And so I think I just kind of phased it out. It might have come out during a season where there was a lot of other shows going on. So it might have been one that I just dropped because of not having the time for it.
Mhm.
And I know season 2 was all had people up in arms with who is Rem. But I never got like into it. It took me like 2 or 3 attempts to get through season 1 of ReZero, if I'm being honest. And John Knight in the chat says I still need to watch ReZero dub. Like I said, it wasn't a bad anime. It just took a bit for me to get into season 1, and season 2 just did not have the same effect. And I still think Amelia's best girl on that, above Rem and Ram. Up next, we have Uzumaki Spiral into Horror.
Sounds like an Angela show.
Avant-garde, drama, horror, supernatural, and suspense are the
Yep,
tags for
definitely
that.
Ange.
By Studio Drive. Do I know that studio?
Hold on.
Oh,
I'm
Konosuba.
locked in a captcha, otherwise I'd look.
Konosuba.
Season 3 and season they did season 3 and the Megamine 1, Fate Grand Order, and Anagami.
And Actors Song Connection. I've heard of that one.
I've never heard of it.
Oh, and they did what was the English title of this one? The Demon Prince of Momochi House. I started watching that one, but didn't finish.
That seems like a you show.
That was more of my wife type of show.
And they did season 2 of To Your Eternity. Huh.
John Knight says he's going to try to watch the Uzumaki dub when that comes out. And Ross is like me, stopped ReZero after season 1 ended. Too long of confession, too long for season 2 to come out. Up next, we have more Blue Lock. Blue Lock versus U20 Japan. So for you soccer fans out there, or football, you get more of that. And synopsis just says second season of Blue Lock. I never watched the first. I'm not like I like sports, but I'm not big into soccer. I don't know what your thoughts are on that. Are on soccer, Darren?
My first crush was obsessed with it. I am not a fan at all.
Understandable. So, Angela will be joining us probably for the second half of the show, and we can get her opinion on a lot of these when she jumps on. Because we might get through the whole list before she gets home. Up next on the list here, we have Dan to Dan. Action, comedy, supernatural.
It kind of seems like some of the other supernatural ones I've seen before, like Miroko-chan. You know, the one where the girl sees the supernatural just randomly to the point she ignores it.
Oh, yeah. I started that one, and then I think just too many other shows or something happened, and I stopped watching.
So basically, you got a girl that believes in ghosts, the supernatural, and then you got a boy that believes in aliens. And they discover both exist. They attempt to fix the surreal, supernatural, and extraterrestrial elements around them to return to a normal life.
Interesting. I might give that a 3-episode trial. Just because I like ghosts and UFOs.
I might watch it because I've seen some of the other supernatural ones, so why not?
And the chat, John Knight says he needs to catch up on the Blue Lock dub. Ross says he's going to watch Spirit Chronicles Season 2 and Arafueta 3, just like Darren. Now, unlike Darren, you're going to watch him. Darren's not going to have the time.
Ari Puerta, I'm going to make time for. Especially after that finale they pulled.
And John Knight says that he watched the first 12 episodes of Blue Lock dub on Blu-ray. Jumping up next on the list is, in fact, Spirit Chronicles Season 2. Action, adventure, fantasy, romance are the genres for that. Harem, isekai, reincarnation. I'd never watched Spirit Chronicles.
I was tempted to, but time, the universe, and everything else.
And it's a show that's like right up our alley, which is funny because we both like the isekai harems and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you like the romance.
Yes, I do.
And that's followed immediately by Arafueta Season 3.
Yep.
Which Darren said that he is going to make the time.
Most definitely. Like I said, I don't know if Ross or John, you've seen it, but the guy basically is a straight up savage, and it's wonderful. And Doug needs to watch it because Bunny Girl, Dragon Girl, and Vampire Chick, and none.
That was what,
Or,
Arafueta?
or Priestess, I should say, not none.
Well, depending on how much downtime I have in the hotels while waiting for train departures, which usually is not a whole lot, I might start an episode or two of that. Next on the
Well,
list,
I'll say this: in the very beginning, it is not going to be your type of anime. I'm just saying, it will
yeah,
become your type of anime after a few episodes because it is a smidge slow.
okay.
But episode 1 and 2, predominantly episode 2, is where you start to meet the rest of the cast.
All right.
That show is part of the reason I'm watching Failure Frame this season, because the ultimate goal is revenge. And basically, it's a very similar situation to what happened to what's his name in Ari Puerta.
While you're thinking of that, Ross has a rebuttal thing. No, Mew and her mom are merfolk, and Yui
Yes,
vampire girl.
yes, Mew is adorable, and yes, Shea is adorable. Not Shea. Shea's the damn rabbit.
But he said all three of them are best girl and the
Mew,
princess.
like I said, Mew is absolutely adorable. Um, she's your mermaid, but the thing is, she's a child. Yue is the vampire. Shea is the bunny, and what is Dragon Girl's name? I know it. I know it. I just can't think of it. And like I said, you will like Dragon Girl a lot.
I'll try to check it out at some point. As Angela would say, I'll add it to the list.
The infinite list that never ends.
Mm-hmm.
You could watch anime every single day for the next year and still not be caught up on half of what exists.
Up next, we have Bleach, Thousand Year Blood War, The Conflict.
I've
I
heard really good things about Thousand Year Blood War. I've never watched Bleach though.
I have never seen Bleach either, and I'm not going to start now. Up next, we have more Danmachi. Is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon? Season 5. I still need to watch Season 4. So I don't know when I'm going to get to that. Obviously, I'm not going to just skip over a whole season and start back up with 5. Where did you leave off on that, Darren?
Which one? I'm sorry.
Danmachi?
Dungeon.
Yeah.
Season. I want to say season 2 or 3. It was right after the Fox girl was introduced. It was right after the basically the brothel art.
Okay, so
No, so
that
that was
was season
season.
2. Season 3
Yeah.
was when Vine came in.
Yes, and you were raving about season 3's characters, I believe.
Yeah, Vine was a very good character. Really liked that character. That's when
I
they
just don't.
discovered a class of monsters that they could actually communicate with.
I just don't understand the god and goddess hierarchy in Dungeon. Like, who is at the top here? Because it seems like every god is scared of each other.
I I don't know who's the top on that. Ganesha likes to think they are.
But everyone's scared of Freya for some reason.
Yeah. Could be because of how the strong team she has or what, I don't know.
But Hestia is no slouch either.
No, Hestia, as annoying as Hestia is, she does acquire or recruit a very good team of children, as they call
Well, not so much that. I'm talking about their own individual
them.
powers and prowess. If you like when they get into situations and they start to unleash their actual abilities, which they're not supposed to, who is the one that's making the laws regarding all of that?
That's a
They
good
kind of
question.
hinted at it in season 2 that there was at least influence behind it.
I don't remember. It's been a while since I've seen it. John Knight in the
Thank
chat
you.
says Bleach has 366 episodes and 4 movies. Yeah, I haven't started it. Not gonna now. Don't have the time to try to catch up on that. Next up on the list is Shangri-La Frontier Season 2. That is an action adventure fantasy theme video game. I have not seen this one. Is that one that you've heard anything about?
Shangri-La Frontier, very little.
I don't know if any of our viewers out there have been watching Shangri-La Frontier or not. I'll check back over because I've got flipped between tabs to keep up with everything. So I'll come back over and look at the chat in just a moment. While waiting on that, we'll move ahead to Sword Art Online Alternative Gun Gale Online 2.
Yep. The only Gun Gale I know was when they introduced Xenon. So the Gun Gale arc of Sword Art Online, I never watched the spinoff involving the whole different crew.
And this is done by Studio A1 Pictures.
Typical.
I don't even know that I've heard. Like some of these studios I haven't
No,
heard of, but I'm sure I've seen stuff.
A1 Pictures has done a lot.
Oh, they have. Okay. So I know their work. I just didn't know the name of the studios. Kaguya-sama, Darling in the Franxx, Fairy Tale,
The
Seven
other
Deadly
Sword Art,
Sins, other
Erase,
Sword Art,
Love is Hard,
86, Eromanga
Love is
Sensei.
Hard for Otaku, Magi.
So yeah, they've done a Mashal. Okay, yeah, they've done a lot of good stuff.
Manga Sensei, How to Raise a Boring Girlfriend, Blend S,
Interviews with
Orishura,
Monster Girls, Licorice Recoil. So yeah, they've done a lot of stuff. I just didn't know their title. Black Butler,
Oraimo,
Burqa Murder.
the famous one. Let's see, Working, which I still need to watch one day. Asterisk Wars, Grand Crest Senkai, Nier, Persona 5,
So yeah,
Engage Kiss,
they have done
Servant
a
X
lot of
Service,
stuff.
Lydia Code, haven't seen that one in a while. Occultic 9, that's an old one. That takes me back.
John Knight says he's absolutely going to watch Shangri-La Frontier Season 2 when the dub comes out. And he's absolutely going to watch SAO as well.
Mm.
And I know John loves the dubs. He's very big on watching the dubs. But I'm curious, John, do you ever watch it in sub as well, or are you primarily a dub watcher? For the longest time, I was dub only, and then I got into watching the subs when either the dub wasn't available, in cases with Familiar Zero seasons 2, 3, and 4 Japanese only. They never English dubbed those. Or in case if I'm watching a show and I watch it dubbed and want to know what happens, so I watch ahead and sub.
I remember there was a time the new Pokemon episodes were dropping and the English subtitles was taking forever. So I managed to find the version with the Spanish subtitles, and since I speak Spanish more or less, I ended up watching it in Spanish, and using my knowledge of Japanese and Spanish, I understood about 80%, 90% of what all was said.
I mean, that's one way to do it. I don't have that option.
Well, don't forget, I speak Spanish practically every day.
Yeah. I can barely speak English half the time.
I still found it funny that Angela was able to follow me when I was speaking Spanish the other day.
Never underestimate Angela. She's always got tricks up her sleeve.
Mm.
John says that he watched Bartender 2006 subbed, but he just prefers dub, which there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not trying to make a dub versus sub war. I was just curious.
About to say, I was a dub watcher for the longest, but what got me to the sub was To Love Ru.
And DXD.
And Kiss Exis.
Well, Kiss Exis, I don't think has a dub to it.
Nope, exactly. Therefore, in order to watch it, I had to watch sub. When To Love Ru at the time did not have a dub, therefore I had to watch sub.
Oh, that's right, because it took a while before To Love Ru got dubbed.
Yep, it took almost 10 years.
So there's hope yet for Kiss Exis.
I know, right?
That would have to be like a fan-driven thing. We'll have Darren do the dub.
Well, stranger things have happened. We've had more fan pushed work. If I'm not mistaken, drop kick on my devil was completely fan funded. Joshing drop kick, John.
Ross says that Girls Bravo does have a dub, which I know. I watched it dub on Netflix.
Same here on Netflix because that's where my friend was showing me anime at the time. It was my fourth anime? No, fifth, sixth. Let's see. First was Chrome Shield Regios. Second was Shuffle. Third was Kaze no Stigma. Fourth was Baka and Test. Fifth was Soul Eater. Girls Bravo was sixth.
The fact you can remember that is amazing.
Well, after that, I started venturing on my own. One of the last shows he showed me was, I think, Rosario Vampire, and
Yeah.
then also he tried to show me Blue Exorcist, but it just never sunk in with me. He got me on Case Closed though. I got 86 episodes in before I dropped it.
Up next for the fall animes that are coming out is a show called Blue Box, romance sports anime.
Enough with the box animes. I'm tired of sports.
It says a third-year student in junior high attends Yumi Academy, an integrated school with a major sports program. Having joined the high school badminton team, oh, there you go, Darren, badminton. Taki tries to attend open practice as early as possible, but no matter how early he goes, he always arrives second in the gymnasium. Person one step ahead of him is Shinesu Kano, a first-year student in high school, and Taki's crush. Shinesu is a rising star of the basketball team, and the gap between her and Taki could not be greater. Although Taki is a decent badminton player, his popularity is nowhere near Shinasu's, making it even less likely for his feelings to be reciprocated. However, in a strange twist of fate, she ends up living in Taki's house.
Heaven knows why.
Wanting to become a worthy match for Shinasu, Taki pursues the same dream as his crush, to partake in the nationals. Taki starts training harder than ever before, all for the sake of building a strong relationship with his new housemate.
Minus the housemate thing, this sounds like Suzuka.
I have not seen Suzuka. I don't know anything about that.
It's a track and field anime. And also, Suzuka is the mother of Fuka.
Okay.
Fuka was what really, even though it wasn't an isekai, it kind of brought Truck-kun to the scenes. It kind of turned into the whole Truck-kun theme. Truck-kun did not originate from isekai, but it became a popular theme in isekai shortly afterwards.
And then he found out he was just a hired hand.
I'm still waiting to see an isekai about Truck-kun. What if Truck-kun got isekai'd?
By Train-kun.
Well, don't laugh because there have been numerous times where trucks have gotten stuck on the tracks, and who's going to win?
Oh, I know. I've seen plenty of videos of tractor trailers getting decimated by railroad locomotives.
Well, did you see the one in South Carolina the other day? What
I
that one did?
I have not seen that one. That's the first I'm
It,
hearing of it.
okay, there was one in South Carolina. The tractor trailer was carrying a tank for the U.S. military, and the tank got stuck on the track, on the tractor trailer.
Interesting. I'm just glad.
Anyway, the gun went on a twirling spree. Thankfully, not firing any rounds, but still. This was literally a couple days ago.
I just found a video of it. I will check that out after the show. Ross has said he's going to give Blue Box a try. I know Ross is a sucker for anything romance.
Eh, so am I. But I don't know if I can do another sports one.
Unless it's Keijo.
That wasn't romance though. That would have been straight up lesbian.
That's what VTuber has to feel of is the stuff that goes on in the VTuber anime that's out right now. A lot of it almost feels straight up lesbian.
Well, I'm
Without
too
actually being. Well, now they come close.
well, as I've said several times, I'm too straight for anime.
Up next on the fall list is Blue Exorcist Beyond the Snow Saga. You
In
said
other
that you
words,
had
more.
started Blue Exorcist, but didn't get very far into it, if I remember correctly.
I got about 2 episodes in.
That's two more than me, and I know we have some of our wonderful viewers that are going to be watching that one. Ross is excited. Blue Exorcist season 4, let's go. He said, name 2 characters that Truck-kun did not otherworld. Fuka and Zombieland Saga.
Correct. They only died because. Yep, they only died. One got brought back to life. The other, she died. Unfortunately,
One became a zombie.
an idol zombie.
Up next on the list here, we got Dragon Ball Daima.
Yep,
A
it is,
new Dragon
and
Ball series.
that's all you need to know. But it looks like the main characters is going to be Goku and the Supreme and the Kais. Huh. So they're going to be revolving around Supreme Kai.
And then up next on the list, we have, as a reincarnated aristocrat, I'll use my appraisal skill to rise in the world. Season 2.
More continuation series. Good lord.
There's a lot of them this season. I didn't watch season 1 of that, so I don't think I'm going to be watching this one. Another continuation, Ron Kamanohashi. Kamanohashi's Forbidden Deduction, Season
Excuse
2.
me. Kamamono. Kama. Ka, ay, ay, ay. Come on,
Yeah,
yeah, Kamonohashi's Forbidden Deductions. Looks like a detective anime.
themes, adult cast, detective. So yeah, I'd say it's like a detective anime. That's got a season 2 coming out. Good God. So many continuations. Then we have Are You Miss Servant?
Ooh, made anime, instant watch.
At a comedy theme, romantic subtext. That's different.
Hitayoshi Yokoya is a high school student who currently lives alone. One day, an unfamiliar girl knocks on the door and offers to be his maid. Oh, so maid dragon. She
Yeah.
reveals that she is a former assassin. Okay, so spy family. Which makes Hideyoshi nervous. But when her skills save him from being run over by a truck, so Truck-kun fails again, Hideyoshi ultimately decides to take her in. However, the mysterious girl actually has no household skills. In fact, her only expertise is assassination. Nonetheless, her time with Hideyoshi allows her to experience new emotions she had never felt before, inspiring her to become a regular girl. In order to advance toward this upcoming chapter of her life, she asks Hideyoshi to grant her a new name, to which he names her Yuki. Having someone she can finally consider family, Yuki acquires new fond memories that fill her heart with warmth as she tries to leave her dark and lonely past behind.
Interesting.
So basically, I can get behind that.
Yeah, that sounds like that's up your alley. We scroll back to the chat and let's see here. John Knight says absolutely going to watch Dragon Ball when the dub comes out because we grew up listening to the Crunchyroll dub.
Crunchyroll didn't dub Dragon Ball though.
No,
That was Funimation.
yeah, I'm guessing because of the merger and everything, it's just getting lumped in with Crunchyroll. But
The disrespect.
Funimation was a good company. I'm not gonna lie, I was sad to see the merger happen. Not surprised, but sad.
Yeah. Gen Fukunaga was the founder.
And Ross says, "I will not watch romance where it tag as romantic subtext because I believe that means there is no romance involved. I'm not sure about the meaning of romance subtext versus romance tag genre." I agree with you there. I
Probably
don't know what.
romantic subtext is probably develops feelings over times but never officially states it. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not 100%. Let me click on that. What romantic subtext is a narrative which
Oh,
can at first appear to be romance. These plots feature one or more main couples which seem to have romantic interest in each other and whose relationship will be central to the main story. However, while the story will set the couple up for heartwarming or embarrassing moments, these encounters will not lead to any significant romantic development, and the characters will not strive to deepen the relationship beyond a certain boundary.
and you know what's funny? A lot of well-known anime are on this list. Uzaki, Takagi, Komi, Nagatoro,
Silent Voice, Your Name.
Bokoro wa Mina Kawaiso, Magical Senpai, High Score Girl. Didn't you watch that one?
Which one?
High Score Girl?
I don't think so. It doesn't sound familiar.
Let's see, the Duke of Death and his
Oh
maid,
no, I didn't see that one.
the girl I like forgot her glasses, uh, Hokkaido Gals, False Harem, which is airing this season, Ganbare Doki-chan, the angel dances with the devil.
Clueless First Friend.
Oh, that one was adorable.
Devil is a
Uh,
Part Timer Season 2. So, okay.
and
So
I
that's
just
some of
love
the
how
examples.
I just love how a lot of the recent big names in romance, the ones we're all following were in here.
Ross says he just wants the romance, not subtext. Which is understandable.
I do too, but still.
So if he wants the romance, and we have 365 days to the wedding, shown as romance, themes, adult cast, and workplace. Takuya and Rika are co-workers in a travel agency in Tokyo. They're both single, but they don't mind, since they're introverts with fulfilling lives at home. Unfortunately, now their job is looking to staff an office in Siberia, and non-married employees are the first to be considered. Rika is desperate to avoid the transfer and goes to Tokyo with an idea. If they pretend they're getting married in a year, they can stay in Tokyo. The only problem is the two of them barely know each other.
Well,
These two,
isn't that how most relationships work out?
yeah, says if these two quiet co-workers fake a relationship, will it turn into something real?
You know what I'm finding in anime? Most of the time they want to fake a relationship. The relationship just comes naturally.
Yeah.
Or what'll happen is they'll fake a relationship to satisfy the other or to satisfy a situation, and they'll develop feelings. They'll go after who their actual targets are just to find out they no longer have feelings for their target and realize the feelings they develop for each other. Let's see, which one am I thinking of? Not my
Like
girl.
Nisekoi or Arashika?
Nisakoi is one of the best examples, one of the best earliest examples that became popular in anime. But the other one, what was the one that aired a few seasons ago? The one with Akari, the one with the popular girl dating the basically loser
I
because of
don't know.
the school assignment.
I don't know. I didn't watch that one.
Then there was Love and Live. There,
A Wild
Love and
Angela has appeared.
Hello, everybody.
should I throw a net ball, a fastball, a moon ball?
Moonball.
Those were introduced in gold and silver, and the the coding for those were very weird.
So, how's everybody doing?
We are doing good. We've been going through the list here. Um, what have we gone? We've gone 3,
About to say, if you
6,
want to let
9,
her,
12, 15. So we are on 16, 17. So we were getting ready to go through title number 18 of the shows airing. But
if you want to go back to the top, you can quickly skim over and give us your opinions.
Give me a second here to log in because log in. Come on. Oh, good, you saved. Because I can share my list.
Whoa.
Nope, seasonal anime. Come on. So the first one on this list that's on my watch list is surprise surprise Gun Gale season 2,
which we haven't gotten down to that one yet.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's number 10 on my screen.
Gun Gale. On
Yeah,
my
you passed it. You passed it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, SAO. I wasn't
Yeah.
thinking of it as Gun Gale. I was thinking of it as SAO.
Fair. To answer your question, to answer your comment, Ross, yes, I just got home from a friend's birthday gathering. But looking at the top of the list, ReZero, I didn't watch any of it, so why would a ReZero third season? Ooh.
Uzumaki, we thought might be up your alley.
Actually, looking at this, and it's a 4 episode, so that's a definite maybe. Blue Lock, I never got around to watching it. Season 1 was on my list, and I never watched it.
Oh, Ross. More Than a Married Couple is the one I was thinking of.
Dan Da Dan, I don't know how I don't know.
I might check that one out just because supernatural and ghosts and aliens are like two things of the supernatural that I really enjoy. Like back in the good old days of Unsolved Mysteries, I loved the alien stories and the ghost stories.
Yep.
Yeah, especially the ghost stories better.
Seiri Gensuke, it's harem isekai, not my season 2, not my jam.
Spirit Chronicles?
Yes, just everything about that is not for me. Fuerta, never seen.
Harem not for you.
Bleach, again, never seen. Never actually watched any. Is it wrong to try and pick up girls in a dungeon season 5? What? No. Just
You'd be surprised. It's not what you think.
well, it's more of a I'm not going to try and pick up something at season 5. That's as far as I'm leaving that one.
Well, just saying.
It has been enjoyable, and I'm not going to lie. If I had the money to get a cosplay, I would cosplay as Belle Cornell from this show.
That's just more of a I'm not going to pick up something new in season 5. That's just too much. Not even discussing content. Shangri-La, again, season 2, so probably not. And video game adaptations. The last video game anime I watched felt like a video game, so meh.
The last one I watched was Uma Musume.
And that was actually good.
SAO Gun Gale, can't wait. That's like as soon as I saw Gun Gale got a season 2, I was all about that. Gun Gale was actually a really good spinoff. But I'm sure
Which Gun Gale though, because remember there was 2.
the one where it got its own spinoff that didn't have Shinon or Kirito or anybody.
I know.
Was
I'm
just
picking.
in Gun Gale.
I'm just picking on you.
I figured. Blue Box.
Badminton.
It sounds like it's going to be a fairly predictable sports trash.
The irony in this one, I was reading through the synopsis, is the girl he likes ends up somehow living at his house with him.
We've seen that before in other animes. That's just a thing.
Not in sports anime though.
Fair, not in sports anime. More Blue Exorcist. Well, again, I haven't watched any of it. A new Dragon Ball series.
Yep.
I don't know how I feel about that. given that I didn't really like Dragon Ball, I'm gonna just kind of leave that as not for me.
Then you had as a reincarnated aristocrat. I'll use my appraisal skill in the new world, season 2.
Isekai in a season 2, so that's an instant no.
Pretty much. Too many, and see, we're at the point of there's too many just season X,
whatever. Yeah.
season 33 and a third.
Attack on Titan.
That was not the reference I was going for, but sure.
I just like poking fun at Attack on Titan.
I'll even give you that one. Ron coming up.
Forbidden Deductions, season 2. Looks like a detective anime.
And that looks like it could be fun, but
Again,
what happened to
season
2? When was season 1?
1 second, let me look. Where is season 1 on this thing? More information. You stupid.
Ross in the chat says, just throwing this out there, we need a lollipop chainsaw anime.
I want to blatantly disagree, but I'm not entirely. That has the potential to be well done. You are Ms. Servant. Just
She's your though. She's literally your.
Yeah, but it's
an assassin with no skills in housework.
Yeah, but she can't be your, and I'm picky about comedy. No, the romance one is the romance one that's 365 days to the wedding is the one that I'm actually every now and again a good romance one gets me. And this one looks like is this one looks like it's going to be a fun romance.
Okay, so is that one all three of us are going to watch?
It's a possibility.
Oh, and by the way, you're caught up to us.
I will put this one on I'll put it on my list. And if I get to it, I get to it. And if I don't, I'm not going to be like heartbroken over it.
Or is that the one that we picked to try to be the one that we all watch? Just to come in objectively with different points of view on this specific show. Like we've tried in the past with, voice actor radio.
That was my fault, as always.
Not as always.
Not as always. There's times I've dropped the ball.
Oh, God. Natsume's Book of Friends, Season 7. Wait, what?
Yes. Yeah. You didn't know that?
Season 7, too much. All right.
Next up, we have I'll Become a Villainous Who Goes Down in History. So the villainous-themed animes continue.
Yes.
And the villainous thing doesn't interest me.
Next one may interest Doug. I don't know if he saw the original.
I did not see the original.
The next one I have actually seen parts of the original.
I did not see the original, which is shocking considering I love Betty.
My whole thing is my story with Ron Mahalf is uh during in the process of my ex-husband and I separating, one of my friends picks me up and says, I'm not leaving you alone right now. Won't brings me up to his apartment, and that's what we put on was Ron Mahalf because he had it and that's what he was watching. So, do I remember any of it? No, but that's what we watched. So there's that.
I might give it a shot just because I can come in with a fresh view of the show and not knowing if it's a remake or a different spin from the original or exactly what. But
If I watch it, it will be a do I remember this or not?
John Knight in the chat says, watch Natsume's Book of Friends seasons 1 through 5 dubbed. Now waiting for season 6 to get an English dub.
And Ross, I'm right there with you about Yakuza Fiance. I'm taking a look at that and I'm just like, but it could be the same one we tried and failed to finish from a couple of seasons ago. Because we never actually finished Girl and Her Guard Dog.
Well, I heard that anime as a whole took a plummet there toward the end.
It got super repetitive. It wasn't good. And I actually really like Yakuza stuff.
Next one is totally Doug.
Yup. I will actually 100% agree with that one.
Loner Life in Another World.
Yup. You and your Another World stuff.
When a sarcastic loner, Haruka, gets transported with his class to another world, he's not wild about adventuring. But he wouldn't mind having some cool powers. Unfortunately, he's last in line when the magic cheat skill gets divvied up. So by the time it's Haruka's turn, there are no good choices left. Now Haruka will have to take on his fantasy world the hard way, on his own, with a hodgepodge of bizarre skills. When infighting and chaos break out amongst his classmates, can this loner come to the rescue?
Does that not sound like something you would watch?
Kinda.
I'm loving
it could
how
be interesting.
I'm loving how the characters down here don't even have names. Class rep, gal leader, nerd A, nudist girl, jock E, nerd C, jock C, jock B, nerd D.
Delinquent E. Nudist girl. That's. I might have to watch this to be like, okay, who's this? What is this nudist girl? Since she doesn't have a name.
None of them do.
Okay, just the fact that the cast has like nobody really matters is kind of intriguing. I'm not gonna lie.
I might watch it.
And Mario lurks in the shadows. Good evening, Mario. I hope that you're doing well. Thank you for coming in and saying hi. Haven't seen you in the chat in a bit. Granted, I've been in and out because of work. For those of you who missed it, I will not be here next Sunday due to the fact I'm scheduled on the same train I've been on for the last month. So I will be on a train next Sunday at the time that the podcast will be going. And due to the fact I cannot have my phone on, I can't even join virtually. So I know Darren and Angela will do a wonderful job at holding down the fort and commencing with the traditional chaos.
You say this, it might be. It could very easily turn into an Angela rambles about nonsense.
Are you implying I'm gonna fall asleep?
No, I'm implying I'm gonna have nothing to talk about and just start going on about the first thing that comes to mind.
Isn't that what we normally do?
Fair. And why is yours a different order than mine?
I
Uh,
don't know.
The next one I'm looking at is tying the knot with an Amagami sister.
Yeah, and
Yep,
then on
that's the
my
next one.
oh, you know what? Yeah, that one not for me.
Comedy, romance, and in the chat, I think it was Ross said next one up is up Darren's alley. Shrine Maidens.
Or let me rephrase, Shrine Maiden Harem.
Is it considered harem? Oh, it
It
is.
says right
It
there,
is.
harem.
Synopsis on this one. Yuryu Kimihate has had a rough start to life, but plans to forget it all by achieving his dream, matriculating into medical school. But when he arrives at his new foster home, a working shrine, his dream of a quiet place to study goes up in smoke. Not only will he be living with 3 beautiful, lively Amagami sisters, but he learns that he must marry one of them and take over the temple.
I might watch it. What can I say?
I think to some degree or another, we are all a little predictable with what we like.
Yeah.
The next one is totally Angela.
Rurouni Kenshin, season
nope.
2.
Nope.
I tried watching the original, couldn't get into it.
I think because of historical samurai, and we know that those are 2 things that you're interested in. But again, story is a big thing, and if the story isn't good, it doesn't matter what you like.
The original didn't grab me, and subsequently, I never bothered with season 1 of the reboot.
Why is your order different than mine?
Did you have Rurouni Kenshin and Demon Lord 2099 switched?
Yes.
Okay, your order's the same as mine, and if I said Demon Lord 2099 is on my list, would anyone be surprised?
That's what I was implying. That's why I was confused when Doug said Rurouni Kenshin.
Ah, yeah.
Demon Lord 2099 is definitively on my list. Hell yes. Cyberpunk, Metropolis, Massive City State, and so on and so forth. I also really enjoy the cyberpunk stuff. And let's see if we go back to all being on the same order. Yep, it's just those 2.
The do-over damsel conquers the dragon emperor?
Yep.
Comedy, fantasy, romance by J.C. Staff.
J.C. Staff has done some good stuff.
Theme, time travel.
Oh, and that means this one might be not good.
Basically, she's betrayed, and on her deathbed, instead of dying, she wakes up 6 years in the past. Basically, kind of a do-over anime, kind of like redo of Healer. So it's kind of like a villainous thing, where they do everything in their power to not be the victim.
That just does not, that description doesn't do it for me.
It also reminds me of Challenge Showdown there in the final episodes. Go back in time and try to change the ways of one while but it ends up having a negative effect and corrupting the other.
And then up after that is more Seven Deadly Sins. Like we need more of that junk.
Mm-hmm.
If my wife became an elementary school student,
I will probably be watching this just to see, because I've seen the trailers for it.
I was gonna say that one sounds like a Darren and possibly a Ross show.
yep. MF Ghost Season 2.
Ross says I'm watching Damsel Do Over.
I'm not surprised.
Why not, Mario? Redo was actually an interesting premise.
And I will even give you that one. And this one, the next one might. This one doesn't even have an English name. Oh, yes, it does. Nope. So the next one on my screen, at least, the healer who was banished from his party is in fact the strongest.
Yep.
That one is actually on our list.
I might check that one out just because of watching many other titles that are similar.
I probably will as well.
Oh, why did I do that?
A healer gets booted from his party because the leader notices he isn't really contributing much to the team. Soon enough, the healer must look for new members to party with. After finding a cute martial artist to work together with, he reveals his secret. While he's a fairly mediocre healer, he actually fights well in close combat. This is a story of a support who's secretly a DPS, and where the entire conflict stems from the fact he never told his old party he was a DPS.
That one's on my list. That's go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought process.
If it's done well, I'm actually going to enjoy it. If it's not, it has potential.
Did y'all skip over MF Ghost? Because that was the next one on my list before that one.
I mentioned it briefly and just went second season and glossed over it because
none of us watched season 1.
I thought you did, Doug, or was that
no? I watched the other one that aired during that because I never was into Initial D. I didn't give MF Ghost a chance. Instead, I watched the one about Formula 4 racing, which turned out to be fantastic and nothing like I thought what it was going to be.
That's right.
I think it was Overtake.
Overtake, that's right.
Yep.
I couldn't remember.
And then we get more Hanako-kun.
So more toilet. For the fans of the toilet, you get a part 2. After school, Hanako-kun part 2. Which I only saw the first season of Hanako.
Goodbye Dragon Life? What?
Action adventure fantasy. What is this? What is that one about? That sounds like it could be up Darren's alley.
It's funny. A human managed to defeat the oldest, most powerful dragon of them all. Dragon was so strong that even the gods feared it. So a little DxD theme in here. But it accepted its end all alone. Then suddenly the dragon woke up in a new life as a guy named Dolan.
Living in a faraway
village. A regular person.
Yeah.
But one day while exploring a swamp, Dolan meets Selena, a creature who's part human and part snake called a Lamia.
So she's Mia.
So Mia. But admits she's not great at getting humans to like her because she's part snake. Despite their differences, Dolan and Serena start to become friends. However, they face lots of challenges from outside forces.
Basically, two creatures trying to live a normal life in a world among humans.
Action, adventure, fantasy.
I think I'm gonna pass on that one.
If I get bored with not having much else to watch, I might give it a shot, but I'm not going to say that as a definite. Up
And
next, we have Nina the Starry Bride.
this is another one. It sounds like it could be a Darren and Ross anime.
This is a Ross anime.
I like how we're like, Ross.
Yep,
This-
and Ross just said he's watching Nina and the Starry Bride.
This sounds like Cross Ange. Well,
Yep.
without Cross Ange was a wild ride.
I don't know if that's one I'm going to watch or not.
Not for me.
The next one I will be watching.
Of
Demon
Because
Lord.
of Darren.
As will I.
What? Demon Lord retry?
Yeah, it's Darren's fault that I started watching that.
Yep, it is.
And then enjoyed it.
Mr. Bunny and Hop.
I told you I've gotten to meet the voice actresses or I got to meet the voice actress of Hop, and we had the voice actress of Bunny on the show.
That's correct. I remember. Because she did a soundbite for you. Do you still have that soundbite?
Somewhere.
It is probably on the hard drive that I have here with all the AZR stuff.
But knowing that it's a second season, I am looking forward to seeing how it turns out. Hopefully, it does get the dub. Because it would be nice to see how the story progresses.
So the next one on my screen, at least, is on my list.
The Blue Wolves of Mibu?
Yep. Historical. It's a historical action.
Historical samurai.
Historical samurai. I mean, come on.
1863. So right around the time the Civil War ended.
Yep.
But
The streets of the nation's capital are soaked in blood as political upheaval and rising tensions between masterless wandering ronin and government samurai set the stage for one of the most turbulent times in Japan's history. Young orphan Neo is no stranger to the harsh realities of the world and yet can't help but cling to his burning passion for justice and desire to change the world for the better.
Now, there was another historical samurai show. Oh, Rurouni Kenshin.
Yep.
Which you didn't watch. You tried and couldn't get into.
I tried the original, but
hopefully this one is more up your alley and the story hooks you.
That's the hope.
Maho Film is the studio. What else have they done? Slime.
While I didn't watch Slime.
Not reincarnated as a slime, but what was it? What was the English title of that one?
Killing slime
by the grace of the gods.
By the grace of the gods.
That show was actually really good. I enjoyed both seasons of that.
And I enjoyed If It's For My Daughter, I'd Even Defeat the Demon Lord.
Well, so this one's got promise.
The next
Up next,
one
you got a Studio Madhouse title.
Anything Studio Madhouse puts out is good.
Sometimes it's a little out there, though.
You're
About
not
the
wrong.
movement of the Earth. Orb on the movements of Earth. And it says it's a drama historical.
15th century Poland.
Could be interesting.
It says we'll
Death
follow.
Note. I'm actually looking at how much of. I know I've watched Madhouse. It's just more of a what shows have I watched by them.
Overlord, Chihaya Furu. Let's see. The first season of One Punch was Madhouse.
Trigun, Freerin, Overlord.
Hunter Hunter, No Game No Life.
Yep.
All stuff I've never finished.
Claymore, My Love Story, Nana, Chobits, Cardcaptor Sakura.
Junior Big High School. Nana.
I thought I've actually watched more from the studio.
Well, they've done almost 400 titles.
Yeah, and I haven't finished any of them.
High School of the Dead.
Cheese Sweet Home.
Chaos Head. Maho Senso. Oh, they also did Death Parade.
Yeah, and I feel like we've had this conversation before.
I'm sure we have. We like to recycle conversations.
Yeah.
Like I blame Ross.
As do I. But no, that's
Ross says he's going to be watching Demon Lord retry. Ross says he's got 14 that he's watching this season coming up.
Moving on, we've got another season of Love Live Superstar.
That's the one I'm excited for. Because in my opinion, it was the second best of the Love Live franchise, the second best series. I put it above Love Live Sunshine, and the Nagasaki High School one was just terrible. I couldn't even finish the first season. I think I stopped in 3 or 4 episodes. But I'm excited to see where the third season goes, and I like how season Love Live always seems to end up with 9 girls for the school idol thing. I like how Superstar season 1 just focused on 5. And then when they moved to season 2, those 5 girls went up a class. So they're no longer first years or second years. The new section of first years come in. Now it's gone up to 9. So I'm curious to see what they do with the third season. And it should. I'm hoping it's going to continue to be as good. That's all I'll say. I will be disappointed if it falls off on the third season. I'm not going to say it's not a far stretch for it to do so, because I've seen many other shows that have done that. And good evening, Sharka. So great to see you in the chat. I hope you're doing well. But I know that I am probably the only one of the group that is going to watch this one.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Up next, we have the most notorious talker runs the world's greatest clan. Action, adventure, fantasy. Noah longs to be a seeker like his heroic grandfather, slaying the beasts that emerge from abysses and exploring far-off lands. Unfortunately, it turns out he's nothing but a measly talker, a job with no combat skills whatsoever. Undaunted, Noel sets out to establish the strongest clan in all the land, using his silver-tongued talker skills to unite assassins and heroes under his leadership. The storyline, if it's good, sounds like it could be an Angela type show.
It sounds a little too cookie cutter and a little too been done too many.
It kind of sounds like how a realist hero rebuilt the kingdom, just on a much drier note. Because you're using the tactic of negotiation instead of.
Yeah.
What? I want my phone.
Difference is Realist Hero is actually a really good anime.
I know. I'm not denying it. I'm just saying similar premise. In theory.
Then up next we have Mechanical Arms Action Sci-Fi.
That one is on my list.
I've never heard of the studio.
Nor have I, but we haven't had a really good sci-fi in a while.
Okay. They only have 9 shows, and I know none of them.
Like, we've had... Actually, now I'm going to look at the studio as well.
I have never heard of any of these either.
Sushi Police? What a name for a show.
Ninja Bear the animation?
I don't know that one.
I don't know any of these
Secret.
either.
So that's a crapshoot on whether or not that's going to be good.
I have hopes because, like I said, we haven't had a good sci-fi in a while.
And it looks like it's a sci-fi mecha. Or part mecha.
We'll see.
Oh Lord, this next one is a hell no.
This next one would probably be one that my wife would check out.
Cross-dressing, no.
I'm intrigued, but no.
I don't know about that one.
But no, there's not. And I got pointed out that the last sci-fi I watched was actually a really good one, and I forgot about that one. I forgot that was a sci-fi.
Which one was that?
Metallic Rouge.
Ross in the chat says, I forget who's into magical girls, Doug or Darren. There is one this next season.
That would be me.
That would be you?
I mean, unless you are too.
I know Gavin. Gavin said he liked the magical girls. I liked gushing over magical girls. That was an interesting show, but I wouldn't say I'm like a magical girl fanatic.
For me,
Racing Project, Madoka Magica.
For me, it was Wonder Egg. For me, the closest thing to magical girls I've watched and enjoyed was Wonder Egg.
Gotta be the Twin Tails was close.
That was good.
But we were getting into...
Next one on the list is Let This Grieving Soul Retire.
The weakling who leads the strongest party.
Can we be done with the...
Are you done with the fantasy adventure anime already?
Not even that. I enjoy a good fantasy and I enjoy a good adventure.
But
it's getting to the we are getting to the point where these
and this one's not even an isekai, and it's a cookie cutter. We've already seen like 2 other shows this season with a very similar premise.
Exactly. That's thank you. That's what I was getting at.
The next
And
one up
here's the
is the
magical
Magical Girl one. Maglamary Magical Girls Inc. Magical Girl, a profession that undertakes the work of exterminating a kind of natural disaster called Kai. Kana Sakuragi, a female college student who struggles with job hunting, is picked up by a magical girl startup company and question mark. Magical girl work life starts now.
Nope. That's a nope from me.
Action, comedy, fantasy. I don't know. It does not sound intriguing, but I've watched worse.
I think we all have.
School days.
I was going to go with Conception, but you know.
I was trying not to bring that one up for once, but this time you did.
Yep.
So you can't be mad at me.
Nope, I can just give you a hard time.
And vice versa. Up next we have Tohai Urarate Mahjong Tohai Roku.
It's a mahjong anime.
One of the most talented and ruthless mahjong players in the city is a young high school boy. I don't know. The artwork, like the illustration of the cover there, it does not intrigue me in the least.
I don't know.
And then up next, we have a terrified teacher at ghoul school. I started being a teacher for a yokai school. Okay, that's a little bit different, but I still don't know if that's different enough to be like, oh, I gotta check this out. I think we all fall under the umbrella of we've seen so many anime that it's hard for us to get excited about something when it feels like we've seen 10 versions of the same show. And as we've talked about on the show multiple times, is the media just so oversaturated that it's hard to find new ideas?
The answer is yes. I mean, moving on, we've got Acro Trip. What?
What?
Why does this sound like it's kind of a spin-off of Gushing Over Magical Girls, only possibly without the BDSM?
I don't know, but but
But I don't think that's what I'm gonna watch.
we've got a fantasy. The story takes place in another world where there are gods. The world lays above the sky and below the ocean. I I don't know.
Studio Typhoon Graphics, another studio I've never heard of. They've done 14 shows. And I don't think I've seen any of them. Yeah, I haven't seen any of them. That's interesting. We're seeing a lot of new companies come up.
Yep. Trillion Game looks like an interesting premise, and it's done by Madhouse.
It's a drama theme adult cast. I think that's a new thing because I've seen a lot of theme adult cast shows for this season. It almost feels like we're going to do the same stories that we've done before from high school, but instead we're going to make them in their 20s and 30s and put adult cast next to it.
It looks, and the next one is the same. It's also an adult cast. Negative Positive Angler.
A depressed college student burdened with debt and being told that he only has 2 years left to live. After falling into the sea while on a run from debt collectors, rescued by friends Hana and Taki, and soon becomes hooked on fishing.
Studio Nut.
I know the name because that's a name that we've talked about before. Saga of Tanya the Evil.
Oh, they did Tanya? No.
They did Tanya. They did Fooly Cooly, Alternative, and Shoegaze. Decadent, Blue Giant. So they've got some titles out there that are, decent titles. I mean, Tanya was a really good show. I have not seen the Fooly Cooly reboots.
Tanya's one other one that didn't grab me. And then moving on, we've got Kamirabi God App Season 2.
Never heard of that one. Didn't know there was a season 1.
It's a high stakes game. The Prince of Tennis.
So that continues on.
A Story of a Girl That Was Unable to Become a Mage by JC Staff.
That one
doesn't do it for me.
Maybe. I'm not going to say yes. I will put that as a possible. A herbivorous dragon of 5,000 years gets unfairly villainized second season. So that's the season 2. Probably not on my list.
Ditto.
Hamadashi Creative. No English title. It's the end of June, summer season, and the summer seems to be locked in place. Tomohiro, recognized by himself and those around him as an introvert, is spending another quiet day in his little corner of his classroom, or so he thought. Congratulations, you've been selected as our next student council president. Student council president lottery held on the spur of the moment by the academy. Tomahiro manages to be the one randomly selected thanks to his ridiculous luck. Now spotlight is suddenly upon him, and as a result, rumors about him begin to circulate. With no way out, Tomohiro relies on his advisor to start gathering allies he can rely on. But none of the candidates his advisor suggests, from his classmates Kano to his underclassmen Asumi and even his little sister Hiyori, are even coming to the campus. Amidst all of the chaos, even the former president that no one could ever get a hold of, Shio, shows up. Is it fate, or is it a foregone conclusion? The unheard of and unprecedented battles of the random lottery student council president are about to begin. I don't know what to think about that. When I started reading the synopsis, it sounded like another predictable one, and then it just got weirder and weirder. And it's titled A Romance. I don't know. Up next, we've got Idol Masters, Shiny Colors second season. So more Idol Masters for the fans of the series. I have not seen the series, so I probably will not watch it. I don't watch all Idol animes. I am selective about the music animes that I watch. That's one that never struck an interest to me. And I know Darren's not much of a music anime. Looking back at the chat, Sharka says that she loves Magical Girl anime. Ross says this yokai Gakko sounds like the Skune of Rosario Vampire. Ross says, look at the tag. It's Yuri on That Can't Be a Magician. So Can't Be a Magician is a Yuri tag. And John Knight in the chat says, Konosuba Season 3 new OVA has officially been announced. I think now we're getting into some of the nonsensical animes that people aren't really going to be paying much attention to. I don't think any of us are going to be watching some of these. I see Tanbo Season 2 looks like a golf anime. Tono to Inu looks like an anime about dog. I don't know if that's up your alley, Ange, or not.
Didn't grab me, or the description didn't grab me.
Funiru wa Kawaii Slime. No. Lockdown Zone Level X, or Level 10. Horror Mystery.
Yeah.
Just by the tags, horror mystery does not have my interest.
Just by the tags, that's a maybe for me.
But I think looking at the rest of the stuff that's on here, I don't think any of us are going to be watching any of those whatsoever.
Nope.
ONAs, you have Beastar's final season is starting in December, it says. Movies, Attack on Titan, The Last Attack.
What?
It's right here.
Let it be freaking done.
I told you they're gonna milk it for everything they can.
Then we've got a 6-episode Gundam that you skipped.
Oh yeah, Mobile Suit Gundam
Requiem for Vengeance. It's Gundam, so I'll probably actually give that a shot. If I remember.
Duel Masters Lost. Urawa Neko to Isho, season 3.
Can we just let Attack on Titan die for crying out loud? No? Really?
No, apparently not.
Cloverworks has a movie here.
Fueru. Childhood friends who grew up on the same island are 20 years old and start living together. Even though their living environments are different, they work part-time at a bar, work as salespeople at a real estate company, students at a vocational school,
For
or
clothing designers.
They're always connected in their hearts. Reason is the mysterious creatures brought them from the island. Touch have mysterious powers similar to telepathy that connect them with different hobbies and personalities. The friendship between the three should continue, but they discover another hidden power of touch.
Interesting.
Have an action mystery supernatural movie. Futo Tentai movie. Then there's a Gintama movie. Give It All. Rowing Club. That's different. Another sports anime, but rowing this time. Special plus-sized elf specials. There you go, Ross. Coming out November 21st. There'll be some more plus-sized elf. I watched like 2 episodes and was just like, no, it wasn't for me. And Ross says, might as well look at winter, see what's coming out. We've only got about 15 minutes left of the show time, so I figured we would just kind of, BS our way through the rest, and we can always do a winter show at another point in time. But I know Angela has had a long day. And have you caught up on any of the shows you've been trying to watch, Ange, or are you guys still behind?
Basically, we binged Attack on Titan. Nope. We binged My Hero Academia. Pretty much, we hadn't started anything else, so we kind of wrote the season off as a wash.
No, I know, Ross. I'm not saying that you forced me to watch it. I get based off of your interest in it. I wanted to give it a shot, and it fell to a different section of interest than mine. I'm not saying that you're like, oh, you have to watch this. You weren't anything like Darren.
Go back and finish Goblin Slayer, for crying out loud.
At some point, I will. I almost watched Goblin Slayer on Saturday while waiting to leave for the train, but I ended up dozing back off again and then had to get up, get a shower, and then head down for the van to take the train back. John Knight in the chat says, Angela, I haven't watched the new dub episodes of My Hero Academia Season 7 yet.
I'm not even sure if we're caught up.
And Ross says, if you hadn't noticed, Darren's been dead for a while.
Yeah, that happens from time to time.
We're used to it. I know Darren was telling me before the show that the week was going great until Friday. And then after Friday, everything went to heck in a handbasket.
Fair. Nope, I attempted to join from my car and it failed miserably. So I said, "The heck with this."
Yeah. We ended up having a good day here. We went and surprised our daughter with a trip to an aquarium in Scranton, Pennsylvania. That just happens to be beside Steamtown, a railroad museum. The railroad museum was free to get into. The aquarium for me, my wife, and daughter was less than like $40 to get in. So we had a really good day. Got a lot of good pictures.
Oh, good.
And the aquarium was inside of a mall. I've never seen that before.
Same. Wow.
I mean, it was smaller than like Mystic in Connecticut, but they had a lot of interesting displays. We got to see them feed an alligator. They had an alligator on display, a crocodile on display, a lot of reptiles, a bunch of different fish. Saw an arapaima.
That's pretty cool.
Saw like they had one tank that just had these enormous fish.
No, we just today for us was we watched. I made a batch of cookies for the party I went to, and then Edge and I binged 8 episodes of My Hero.
Cool.
But I feel like there's still at least one episode left because that can't be the end. Very nice. But yeah, looking forward to actually watching anime consistently again.
Yeah, I'm hoping that's gonna happen with the. I'm gonna share a screen here. A photo that I took from the aquarium, and I'm curious to see if in the chat anybody can guess what show this is from. There's an anime that this has a reference to, so I want to see who in the chat can figure out the reference of what show this is from. Angela,
John,
you have not seen it, so I know that you won't know the answer.
Nope. I'm going to point out John's comment in the chat. Today is Scott McNeil's birthday. The voice of Piccolo in the ocean dub of Dragon Ball Z and
Koga and Inuyasha.
And yesterday was Colleen O'Shaughnessy's birthday. Voiced Tails in Sonic Sora in Tails in Sonic and Sora in Digimon and Nell in Bleach. And is he right or is he not right?
He is correct. Anybody who has seen Shimonetta will know that. All you have to do is just show that picture, and if they've seen Shimonetta, they know it's Shimonetta.
Well, all right then.
That's a show that I know you will never watch.
Fair.
I had sent that to Darren before, and yeah, Ross says it's the worm that gives it away. Exactly. That. We saw that in one of the tanks and I just had to snap a photo because, of course, my wife and I both have watched Shimonetta, and we've been to 2 aquariums. They both had those worms, and we laugh every time.
Have you been to the Boston Aquarium?
No, we were looking into prices for that. It's something that we might be looking at doing next year. when we have both kids, because I'm sure that the oldest daughter will probably spend a week with us again, and I may try to take some days off so we can travel out to New England Aquarium.
Because because with a Boston Public Library card, you can get discounted tickets.
Ah, okay. So we could work something out there.
Yes.
And aquariums are cool. I enjoy going to the aquarium.
Agreed. I've done the New England Aquarium multiple times. The penguins are always awesome.
Now, New England Aquarium, that's huge, right? That's a really big aquarium. Because we had gone to Mystic with the two girls before, and Mystic was all right, but we thought it was going to be bigger than it was.
Look it up. Look up on the website. But regardless, it's Boston, so there's always a lot to do.
Yeah. M. Night Shyamalan has announced he is making a new movie coming from Ross.
Again, I'm not sure how I feel about that.
If you want to impress me, Ross, tell us that you're an extra in the movie. Then that would really be noteworthy. See Ross, get a chance to see Ross on the big screen. And like I mentioned last week, speaking of the big screen, there's finally a movie out that I am tempted to go see in the theaters. And of course, that is Minecraft.
Yeah, we were talking about that. So I did an impulsive thing the other day. So I went down a rabbit hole, like I do. The end result was we now have tickets to see Hyde while we're in Tokyo.
I saw you post about that. And how did that all develop? Was it just...
Well, Spotify notified me that the new album dropped. And I really enjoy Hyde. We saw them here in Cambridge. And then another notification came up on my phone, and instead of swiping it to go away, I opened it by accident. It was a concert notification. And I thought it was just a stupid live stream concert, buy tickets now. But then it showed up in Japanese, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I go to Hyde's website, and lo and behold, they're on tour while we're there. And oh, wait, we can see them while we're there. And then I looked at ticket prices, and a pair of tickets to see Hyde in Tokyo was only slightly more than one single ticket to see Rammstein at Gillette Stadium. Hyde is a Japanese rock musician. He did an anime outro song a couple seasons ago that I really liked.
Do you know which show that was from?
A kind of a mediocre vampire one called Mars Red.
So search up Mars Red ending theme.
Or just look up the song On My Own by Hyde.
So it sounds like you're going to have an action-packed Tokyo or Japan trip.
Yep.
Here in a few weeks.
Yep.
So about 4 weeks away?
33 days. I will be posting stuff to social medias. I will not be on live just due to time zones and other nonsense.
I am curious, are you going to introduce AJ as Roberto if you beat Lady Beard?
That will be up to AJ. If he wants to be Roberto, he will be Roberto. If he doesn't, he won't.
I just think that would be funny. But it's fun to poke the bear sometimes.
Agreed. And then, depending if we can find some lucky bags, I will grab an inexpensive one, bring it home, open it on air, and then we can raffle off the contents.
So that could be a lot of fun, and definitely y'all want to come back for that.
No because lucky bags typically are a Christmas thing. No guarantees I'll find anything,
Mm-hmm.
but
I'm still trying to think if there's like any shows or figures or things like that that I want you to look for.
free rin.
Oh, I mean, I love free rin. Trying to think, but I'm trying to think if there's other shows that have come out that I'm like, oh, I really would love to get X from this.
Since free rin, there hasn't been one that you've gone on and on about in the same way.
Well, I think we all agree that this season has been kind of lackluster, and free rin was good for the last 2 seasons.
This season was so lackluster, I watched nothing.
Although, maybe if you can find something from 2.5 Dimensional Seduction, because that's probably been the best show I've watched for this season.
Is that the VTuber one, or is that no? Or is
No,
that
that's a cosplay one that Darren had mentioned that he thought you might enjoy, and has been it's been actually really good.
Wait, you're enjoying it, which means I probably won't.
I'm not going to say it's my dress up darling vibes, but as a cosplayer, I think you would appreciate the cosplay aspect of it. So it's one I would say give a couple episode try.
Like I said, we called this season a complete and total wash.
So that's if you're bored, you want to watch something, I would say try that one. Although it is high dive, and I don't think you have the high dive.
I do not.
So I don't think.
So I'll go back through my Crunchyroll watch list,
which is
I have
that one's actually been the best.
I have a lengthy Crunchyroll watch list. I have a good amount on I think every app we've got stuff. But you know how that goes.
Oh yeah. But on that note, we are just about out of time. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. It's been so much fun getting to look ahead at the fall 2024 anime list of shows coming out. There are some that we're excited about, some that are questionable, and some that are hell knows.
And some that are questionable, but we're going to watch anyway.
Until next time, we want to thank, of course, our sponsors, Home Circle Media and Triple S Lawn Care. I want to thank all of you awesome viewers who come in and chat week in and week out. It's great to see everybody, including Mario and Sharko, who like to lurk in the shadows from time to time. Of course, Ross and John, we love that you guys are always in here, always so informative and interactive. We love the interaction with you guys. You make these shows fun.
Agreed.
And we mean that from the bottom of our hearts. So thank you to everyone who has tuned in. Until next week, stay safe out there. Keep watching the anime, and we'll see you back with more Anime-Zing Radio here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
Good night, everybody.